Hi, this is Magda from the Interiors Exteriors channel. In this episode, I'll show you an 86 square meter apartment that's not only beautiful, but also fantastically organized.
Hi, this is Marisha and we are married and we live together in Krakow. Our apartment is located in a new, still developing neighborhood. We designed it ourselves because interior arrangement and design are our great passion. We also run an Instagram account together called Krakowskie Mieszkanko, where we post various interior design inspirations as well as scenes from everyday life.
We also live with two wonderful cats and Anna belong. At the moment, I can confidently say that they're the ones mainly in charge here, and we just clean up and give them food.
This episode was made possible thanks to a sponsorship with the MSI brand. We start as usual at the entrance, and here on one side of the door we have a seat and coat hooks, and on the other side a clothes wardrobe. On this side there's an exceptionally large litter box, which is a litter box with an automatic cleaning function. It detects the cat by its weight, so when the cat is inside, it doesn't start, and even when it's already cleaning, if the cat jumps in, it also stops. It's very convenient because you just need to take out the waste from the bottom drawer from time to time, and you don't have to clean it yourself all the time. The hallway also serves an important communication function. There are many entrances to different rooms here. Here we have the bathroom, and here is the exercise room with a walk-in closet. Behind me is the bedroom with a workspace, and here is the hallway leading to the rest of the apartment. Unfortunately, the hallway is too narrow to fit deep closets. There would be very little space left to walk through, and you wouldn't be able to open the door to the smaller bathroom. You could install shallower closets, but then the space would also feel very limited visually. That's why in the end, the built-in storage was made both shallower and lower. Inside there are shelves for shoes, and as you can see, quite a lot of them fit here. In the last module, there's a drawer for handbags. Look how beautifully they're arranged here. In this area, there's a room that serves as both a guest room and a workspace. And since it didn't have to be very big, the wall was moved, making the room smaller and creating space in the hallway for built-in storage. On this side, we have a cabinet with a door that opens from the alcove side. The alcove itself ends with sliding doors, so there was no need to leave space for a door leaf. On this side, we have a wardrobe with sliding doors, and here there's space for clothes, while on the other side there's a utility section where we keep the vacuum cleaner and special hooks, so every brush has its own place. The living room with the kitchen was separated from the hallway by glass doors in a loft style because of these little beloved creatures, so we could limit their space and, for example, not let them into the kitchen while cooking so they don't snack on various treats that aren't meant for them. Here, on the wall, a mirror in a loft style also appeared, which together with these doors creates a nice composition. The kitchen was custom made. On the wall side, we have appliances that require different connections, and at the end, there is tall cabinetry. Additionally, there is also a large island. There are many interesting solutions here, not only organizational ones, which I'll show you shortly. Let's start here by the sink, where first of all, we have a kind of bar solution for rinsing glasses. The faucet is double because we have not only a regular spout, but also the option to get filtered water. The filter is here under the sink, and next to it there's a single trash bin and space for various cleaning supplies. The rest of the bins are further down. Next, here is the dishwasher, and here we have a drawer with bins. See, everything is nicely labeled. Sorting trash is definitely worth it. And above, there's a drawer for pots and lids. Neatly on a rack, each one has its place, but there are no frying pans. The frying pans are here, and there's also a special rack for them. Look, one on top of the other, they don't touch each other, and each one is easy to reach. At the bottom of the cabinet, above the oven, a drawer for baking trays was made so you don't have to store them in the oven. It's definitely more convenient this way. Drawers, on the other hand, my favorite storage solution, are in the island, and there are really quite a lot of them here. Inside, there are dividers and organizers, so that everything has its own place. Here further on is the fridge, and at the end, oh, kitty, everything's fine. And at the end, there's a large cabinet with a pull-out shelf for the coffee machine. This feature prevents steam from entering the cabinet when in use, making it simpler to operate, clean and refill with water. You know how it is with these kinds of appliances, and above it there are hooks for mugs. Above the island there is a lamp with 3 light points and leafy decorations that make the whole thing look beautiful. And it also nicely separates the kitchen area from the living area visually. In the living room area, we have a sofa, which is a place for people to relax, but the cats treat it as a giant scratching post, even though they have their own right next to it. And such a big structure for the cats is a great choice, because most of these 4-legged friends like to watch everything from above. Next to the sofa, there's a coffee table that has shelves underneath. It's a very convenient solution that lets you keep various things you want to use within reach, and it also helps maintain visual order. If you want to quickly tidy up the space, you just need to put a book, magazine, or notes underneath, and then you have room, for example, for a cup of coffee when your friend comes over. There's an air conditioner above the sofa, and look how beautifully it has been built in. This built-in is the same color as the wall, which makes the device almost completely invisible. And what's more, the outdoor unit on the balcony has also been hidden. And since we're talking about built-ins, notice that the entire balcony has been netted so the cats can go outside safely. A table has been placed between the windows, and it's extendable so it can be much bigger. And here, in this well-lit corner, there's an armchair. Above it, we have an interesting view of the city, and in the distance you can even see Wawel. The built-in unit by the television holds both decorations, board games, and extra dishes. Here there are special holders for glasses so they don't get dusty and are easy to reach. Meanwhile, at the bottom under the cabinets, we have a cleaning robot. And here is a tray that was lined with small tiles by Maria and Bogdan. And in a similar style, which really reminds me of vacations, they also made tables that I'll show you in a moment in the smaller rooms. Of course, there's a bed in the bedroom, and behind it there's wallpaper on the wall, and in the center a beautiful painting in a stylish frame, which is a gift and depicts loved ones.
Family of the city.
On this side of the bedroom, there's a desk that becomes a home office during the day, and after work, as you can see, it looks nothing like an office. For such a flexible solution that combines living space with a workspace to even be possible, you need the right computer. Meet MSI Summit. 13 artificial intelligence plus EVO, a modern ultralight laptop that fits perfectly with the aesthetics of contemporary interiors. I know that some people need several monitors and lots of accessories for work, but for others, such a mobile device works better. And I also, when editing photos or videos, sit with my computer in different places around the house. I love that I can move around depending on where there's more light and where it's more comfortable for me at the moment. The screen has excellent image quality with vibrant colors and the right sharpness, which is especially important for people who edit photos, design interiors, or simply want to enjoy beautiful details. And also pay attention to the additional features this computer offers. We can bend the screen either by setting it up like this, for example, during a presentation, or turn it into a tablet, which can be very convenient during meetings with clients, to quickly sketch something here. For people who work creatively, like me, not only the appearance and mobility matter, but above all, performance. This model is equipped with the latest Intel Core Ultra processor, and artificial intelligence has been used, for example, to improve image quality during video conferences, reduce microphone noise, or optimize battery usage, which extends the operating time on a single charge. And thanks to the fingerprint reader and trusted platform module 2.0 module, our data is better protected. So if you're looking for an elegant, high-performance laptop, you should definitely consider this MSI model. Thanks to its lightweight design, you can easily take it with you to a client meeting. And after work, just close it and put it away so it doesn't remind you of work during your free time. The initial plan was to make a walk-in closet here, but in the end, we decided on a small bathroom, so only a wardrobe fit in the bedroom. There isn't a lot of space here, so the front is sliding, which just makes it more convenient. And inside, once again, we have great organization. Here are drawers for belts, and below, drawers for jewelry. Look how wonderful it is that everything has its own place, and even in the drawers, such great order is maintained. Order? Looking through jewelry while choosing what to wear today is an aesthetic pleasure in itself. Something wonderful. Now, we are in a practice room, which doesn't have too much furniture because you simply need space to do these exercises. And here in the corner, there's a small cabinet where various exercise accessories are hidden. Notice that it's a store-bought piece of furniture, but the handles have been replaced with more decorative ones, which makes it look much more interesting. I mentioned earlier about the tables that Maria and Bogdan decorate with tiles, and look, this is one of them. They really look really nice with that mosaic on top. On this side of the room, there's a big wardrobe that covers the whole wall, and no matter what function this room will serve in the future, such a big wardrobe will probably always come in handy. And it has mirrored fronts, which are also useful when exercising to check if we're doing each movement correctly, and at the same time the mirror obviously makes the room look bigger. Here, however, there are locks, which might surprise you, but they were installed because the cats used to open the wardrobe themselves and could even get trapped inside. So, for their safety, the locks were installed because it wouldn't be good if a cat got locked in the wardrobe when no one is home. Clothes are stored inside, and look how beautifully the shirts arranged by color are displayed on the rods. I just love this kind of rainbow arrangement. Meanwhile, further on, there are drawers, and inside them there's such brilliant organization. You'll see for yourselves in a moment. Let's take a look inside the first one. And here we have special containers with compartments, so even if we take some things out, the rest won't fall over. And there's a similar arrangement down here for the pants. See for yourself, it looks fantastic, and it's also extremely practical. I also used to arrange things vertically, meaning pants next to pants, for my children, because unfortunately I don't have a drawer deep enough for my own pants to fit. But for the kids, it really worked great, except when there were only a few clothes left, because most of them were in the laundry, for example, then the whole structure would fall apart. When we have dividers, even if we take out most of the clothes, the remaining ones still keep their position. Great. Before we move on to the bathrooms, I'll show you an interesting solution in the hallway: motion sensor lights. They turn on when it's dark enough and when they detect movement, so when we go to the bathroom in the evening or just walk down the hallway at night, we don't have to turn on the main light, but we'll still have the path illuminated. And what's important is that they're magnetic, so you don't need to drill into the walls or call a professional. It's not a problem. Any of us can easily install one of these at home. At first there was supposed to be a walk-in closet here, but in the end we decided on a smaller bathroom. It's a very practical solution. Someone once asked in a comment, why have 2 bathrooms? Let me tell you, even if only 2 people live together, having 2 bathrooms can be really useful. Instead of waiting in line or having to get up earlier in the morning when we start work at the same time, we can just get ready at the same time. If you have the space and can afford it, 2 bathrooms really do come in handy. And when we have guests, when family often stays over or when children appear, there are even more reasons to have those 2 bathrooms. Here we don't just have a toilet, it's not just a restroom, there's also a shower, so it's a fully equipped bathroom. The sink is tiny because the room itself is small, and above the toilet there's a cabinet with shallow shelves for cleaning supplies. In the larger bathroom there's a bathtub, but there's also a sliding screen and a rain shower, so you can easily take a shower here as well. There are drawers under the sink, and there are a few things here that I want to point out. First of all, notice that the edge of the sink sticks out past the drawers, which is simply convenient. When we have more space for our legs, when we slightly bend our knees, we can simply do it. Sometimes the sink is level with the drawers. The drawers have push-to-open mechanisms, and just by standing at the sink, the drawers keep opening all the time. If that distance had been maintained, the problem could have been solved. I feel like I'm rhyming. And inside the drawers themselves, of course, we have dividers and organizers, so each item, has its own place. And it's the same down here. Look at how fantastically organized it is. Let's be honest, there's no need to pretend. Most of us definitely don't have this kind of order. And with proper organization, it's really much easier to keep things tidy. And people who think of themselves as messy might be surprised at how, with the right home organization, order would suddenly start to appear on its own. And while we're at the sink, here's another important tip. Move the glass away from the sink. Here. The sink is actually very wide, but sometimes they're narrower and the glass is placed right next to them. And then, when using the sink, we just bump our elbow against that glass. That's why it's worth leaving some space, so you can clean the glass properly, and it's also worth keeping that space just to have comfort when moving around the sink. Great organization is not only in the drawers under the sink, but also in the rest of the bathroom cabinetry, where custom cabinets were made. Here the cabinets go from floor to ceiling, and look at these baskets. Not only are they beautiful and perfectly fill the space of this cabinet, but they are also wonderfully labeled. And even though at first glance you can't see the things inside, and maybe that's good because it might create visual chaos, thanks to the labels. You know exactly what's where. And these are simply price tag holders, like the ones sometimes used in stores. I managed to order them online, and thanks to that, I was able to label everything in the cabinet so well. On this side of the bathroom, a built-in unit for the washing machine was made. It's not behind a front panel, it's directly accessible, but thanks to the countertop on top, you can use it comfortably here without the risk of anything falling behind the washing machine. I'm sure some of you know this problem, and next to it there's a laundry basket, so the issue of where to store dirty clothes is solved right away. However, above there are cabinets, and the front isn't pushed to open. It's extended so you can grab it from underneath, and again, we have a perfectly organized space. The little boxes were found online and chosen to fit the dimensions of the cabinet, so that the space is really used optimally. Well, I'm delighted. What more can I say? I think that this approach to planning and storage in an apartment is simply exemplary, and we can only be inspired and look for similar solutions for ourselves. Finally, I want to draw your attention to the placement of the doors, because it's something that's often overlooked, but it really affects how functional the rooms are. Of course, the size of the bathroom has a big impact on how functional it is, but if the size were the same and the door was in one corner or the other, it wouldn't be possible to arrange the bathroom as well. Only by placing the door away from the corners was it possible to fit a washing machine here and a cabinet there. That's all for this episode. Thank you to our sponsor, MSI. Of course, I'll leave the link in the video description, and I encourage you to comment and subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye bye.